Hello students, this is Child Psychology. It's PSY 3250 at Metropolitan State University of Denver. It's an online course. My name is Dr. Bethany Fleck Dillen, and my little floating head here is only going to be up for a while. I think it's distracting, but I wanted you to see who I am and know I'm a real person. And the purpose of this video is not only to introduce myself to you, but to walk you through the course using the syllabus and Blackboard and the MyDevelopmentLab portal. So I'm going to say goodbye down here, but we're going to keep going as we take a look at the syllabus together. I've opened up your syllabus as a Word document. You'll want to do the same thing, print it out, have it handy. The top of the syllabus has my instructor contact information. It also says the semester that you are in, my office hours for that semester, and here will appear the link to this video once I've posted it online. So hopefully you've already gotten that far. I have a letter for you here. I want you to read it on your own. The one thing that I do want to point out is that online learning is very different from in-class learning. So online courses aren't always for everyone. I definitely am willing to work with you if this is your first online course, but I'd like it if you let me know. And maybe you've taken a lot of online courses before and you still need help. Reach out. Let me know what you need so that I can best assist you to be successful in the course. The other thing I want you to point out is that besides just Blackboard, we're also going to use Pearson Publishing Company's MyDevelopmentLab course platform, and I'll walk you through some of that in this little video. Okay, the course description. This course covers the major theories of child development and research related to child behavior. So this is a psychology course. It's a social science course. We'll look at prenatal, physical, social, cognitive, emotional, language, and psychological development of normal children. So that's important, this normal piece. This is not an abnormal development course. It's normative development. We will talk about the how-to as well as the how of growth and development. And I want to challenge you to apply your knowledge beyond just the textbook and the virtual classroom. So we'll see how we'll do that as we walk through the syllabus. The next part is the specific measurable student behavioral learning objectives. Say that 5 times fast. What these are lists of the goals or skills that you will be able to accomplish or complete by the end of the course. So they're the things that I want you to get out of all of this. And I'm going to have you take a look and read those on your own. So there are 8 of them that are here. All right, required text and technology. This is where things start to get a little bit complicated, but we're going to walk through it all together. So there are 3 required text or technology pieces. And on your syllabus, those are the things that are highlighted in red. So you can see number 1, number 2, and if we scroll down to the next page, you can find number 3. So number 1 is going to be your MSU Denver Blackboard learning site. Make sure Blackboard is up and running. That's how you're going to get to all of the assignments. That's how you're going to get to the MyLab portal. That's how I can email you. We're going to use the discussion board. If you haven't used Blackboard recently or in any kind of extensive way, it might be helpful for you to do free Blackboard training, which is available to all MSU Denver students. You can do it face-to-face or online by following this link. I pulled up Blackboard, so I'm going to enter it now. On the top it says student preview mode is on. That just means this is the exact same screen that you would see, not the one that I see as the instructor. So when you open up your course, you'll notice child psychology over here. This is what you'll see, announcements. If there's any messages from me internal, I tend to shoot messages out externally. And then what's new things here. The main part that you want to be aware of is on the left-hand side over here, and those are all of the little tabs to access the various pieces of the course. So it's likely you've already been in here, you've already printed out the syllabus, you've already started this video, so you've already gone to this syllabus and course info tab. This is where the syllabus is. This is where the schedule is. I put the first readings here in case there's a delay in accessing your textbook. Couldn't put them all there. That's copyright issue blocked, but there are a couple in there. And then there's also just some helpful online videos in case you're looking for a little bit more information. The next tab on Blackboard is the Content tab. I'm going to walk you through the specifics of what's in this tab when we get to each piece in our syllabus. So I'm going to pop back over to the syllabus and continue to walk you through the required text and technology. That took care of number 1, which is the Blackboard Learn site. Number 2, the second one in red, is the textbook, and along with the textbook is the purchase of the online Pearson MyDevelopmentLab. Okay, you do need both of these things. You need your book and you need the lab access. So what I recommend to you is that you buy the ebook. And the reason I recommend that is the ebook comes with the MyDevelopmentLab access. Some people don't like ebooks. So if you don't, you can buy a hard copy. But if you buy a hard copy of the book, you still need to purchase the MyLab access. Okay, so how do you do this? The directions are all here. I want you to follow them explicitly. I'm not going to walk through each piece, but I'll show you quickly what it looks like. So you're going to sign into Blackboard. When we get into Blackboard, there's a MyDevelopmentLab tab. You're going to enter that. Then you're going to enter your Pearson account information. So maybe you've used Pearson for another course. Then you'd already have an account. If you don't remember your password or whatever, you can do the whole reset kind of thing where they send it to your email. If you've never used Pearson before, then you'll create an account. Once you do that, you're going to either do one of two things. So we're down here. So after signing into the lab, you'll do one of two things. You'll either enter your already purchased access code. So let's say you did buy the textbook in the bookstore and it came with the access code for the lab. You're going to select the option down here. This will be on your screen and it will allow you to enter that access code in. If you don't have an access code yet, you can just directly purchase one. So that's the second one over here where you use a credit card or PayPal or whatever to purchase your access to MyLab. All right, let me show you what this looks like on Blackboard. So we're in right now. Let's just go to the home page of our course. Here's the My Development Lab tab. I'll click on that. And it says My Development Lab course home, assignment calendar, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to click on this one and it's going to bring me to the login site. Okay, just kidding. It brought me right into the course because I've already logged in. But luckily for you, the screenshot of what it will look like appears right here. So it brought me directly already into the system because I already have my account and I'm already set up. So this is what the My Development Lab looks like. Just like with Blackboard, we'll walk through the details of what's in this lab when we get to each of the pieces that you're responsible for as far as assignments are concerned, as they're described in the syllabus. I do want to show you quickly that it's very similar to Blackboard, so it's nothing too crazy, nothing to be afraid of. Over here you have your tabs, and then your home screen here. I do want to mention that you should tune up your browser and you should sync your time zone. First thing you do when you get in here. And I also want to show you the textbook. So this is the front cover if you bought a hard copy. If you decide to go with the ebook, this is where you'll access your ebook. So you can click read the e-text and it will open it up. What's great about this is that you can read your book anywhere that you have internet access. So it might take a little while to load here. All right, pulling it up. It'll start with that front cover. And on the left-hand side is your table of contents. You have the ability to just go page by page using the arrow button here. You can pin something, highlight something. There are active links in here, which are really neat. I find that to be helpful. So for example, if I'm inside part 1, chapter 1, and I'm zooming through and I come upon some of these check marks and things along the side. Some of those are going to be active links that'll take you to videos or articles, different ways of explaining the information. So I find that to be pretty helpful. It also has very similar, let's see, if I do this little check one just to show you, it gives you a quiz that you can check. So that's a helpful little tool. But it has all of the same features as the regular hard copy book, except they're interactive, which I like. Okay, let's head back now to our syllabus. Just to reorient you to where we are, we're talking about the text and technology. We've looked at the Blackboard site, we've talked about the textbook and the MyDevelopmentLab access. And so the third and final piece is the Nurture Shock book. So this book can be bought in the school library, the bookstore rather. I think they have a copy at the library if you want to borrow it or read it while you're there. It also can be purchased online, which is what I recommend because it's very, very cheap. It's actually more of a popular press book. It's not a textbook at all, but it has really, really interesting child psychology research in it. So we're going to be reading chapters out of that book. The citation and ISBN number for the book are here. I put a little link to Amazon just to show you what the book looks like and give you a place that you could purchase it if you are an Amazon addict like I am. Here it is. You can see on the front cover there's an egg with a band-aid on it. That's just what it looks like in case you want to purchase it somewhere else. And it's pretty cheap, so that's exciting, only about $9. Order it sooner rather than later because you'll have assignments that you need to complete on some of the chapters coming up. All right, back over to our syllabus. That takes care of the 3 required text technology pieces for the course. So now the big question, how will I learn the material in this class and what do I need to do for assignments? So we're going to walk through each of these pieces. The first one is the MyDevelopmentLab assignment calendar. So there is a course calendar on the MyDevelopmentLab online system, and it provides you with all the assignments and the due dates for the entire course. So you want to use that calendar. You'll see an alarm clock when something is due. And make sure that you're scrolling down so that you can see the list of all of the things. So to enter MyDevelopmentLab, you do it from the Blackboard site, and then you click on the tab for the course calendar. So I'm going to walk you through it as if we're starting from the beginning so that we're perfectly clear on what it looks like. So MyDevelopmentLab tab, you can access home or you could go straight to the assignment calendar. So if I hit the assignment calendar link, it's going to bring me right to the calendar that I'm referring to. You'll see the little clocks. So this is when everything is due. So if I go to the 16th, it'll say complete the browser tune-up and read the Getting Started guide. If I go to Thursday the 18th, it'll say read eText Chapter 1. It could be just your hard copy of Chapter 1. Complete the Chapter 1 study plan and the Ecological Systems Theory assignment also. So I'm just going to click on a few of these so you can see. They're blue calendars right now because the items aren't due yet. After the items are past due, there's a little red calendar. All right. I'm also going to take us into the regular home page. So if you went the home page route, you'll notice that the assignment calendar is just one of the little links here. All right, so this is kind of your online tool. I do want to show you that when you're in here, there are also these little items up above. These are notes. These are other things that you need to do that maybe aren't using the MyLab system. So, for example, there don't seem to be any that aren't already listed here for this due date, but let's just go to another due date. So it says, nothing for that due date either. These notes, okay, here's another one. So up here it says, read Nurture Shock Chapter 2. So that's not something you would complete on the My Development Lab, but the reminder is still here because it's an assignment that is due and it's on your calendar. Okay, so I know that this might seem a little bit confusing, so I have another document that will help you that you need to refer to and use often. And this is just a Word document. It's your course schedule. So it tells you the date and the things that are due on that date. And it's just listed. So it's just another way for you to see and make sure that you're completing everything. This one I like a lot because you could print it out and you can just cross things off as you go, so you can use it like as a checklist. All the items that are due by midnight on the date. So there's a little key to help you. Burke is our main textbook. NS is the Nurture Shock book. TEC are technology assignments on the Mind Development Lab, and discussion board assignments are completed on Blackboard. So this key can be helpful. So let's just scroll down to a random chapter so that you can see some of the things coming up. If you were reading chapter 10 on emotional development, you have the due date. It'll say read the chapter, complete the study plan, complete the technology assignment, and then it says make progress on one of our bigger projects. We can go to the next chapter, read the Burke, do the study plan, complete the TEC. It also says read the Nurture Shock, chapter 3. Complete the discussion board, and then make progress on your bigger project. So you have two ways of kind of keeping track of what you need to be doing throughout the course. The My Development Lab assignment calendar, and then the Word document that you can print that has all of the things on it as well. So continuing on, number 2 are the readings. It's important that you read the required chapters and outlined in your course schedule and on the assignment calendar. So everything that you read, you're responsible for understanding, and they will be assessed. Your understanding of that will be assessed. So there's writing assignments, there's a final exam, there's discussion board topics. All of these things come from the main delivery of the content through your reading. Something to keep in mind is that we don't go in order of the chapters for the Nurture Shock book. So you'll notice it jumps around. I'll assign chapter 10, and then a little while later chapter 3, and then a little while chapter 4. So make sure you're following your calendar. Okay, lecture notes are available to help you with your reading. There's one set of lecture notes for each chapter in the textbook. They are PowerPoint slides. They help highlight some of the important aspects of the reading, have you think about things in different ways, and help you focus. Let me show you where they are and what they look like. So down here is my Blackboard course. In the Content tab, there is a folder that says Lecture Notes. So I'll click on that. I'll open Chapter 3 just to show you. It'll start the download of the PowerPoint files. Once that download is complete, they should open automatically, or maybe on your computer you'll have to open them. Looks like I had to open them, and here they are. So it'll take you through with tables and definitions and things to help keep you focused. I like to use them as like a template for my note taking. So that's one of the ways that I find them to be helpful. It's not required that you do anything with these. They're just tools to help you learn the material. Okay, so I don't collect them or have you submit anything or anything like that. They're just here for your learning. Okay, so that takes care of number 3, lecture notes. Moving on to number 4, individualized study plans. So after reading each assigned chapter in the textbook, you complete an individualized study plan on the MyDevelopmentLab system. So the due dates for the study plan are on the course calendar, and those due dates, when you're in that calendar, those are actually links. So you can just click on it, it'll take you right to the assignment. The study plan has a pretest, so you take the pretest. Just take it. It doesn't matter how well you do on it, it's just a pretest to see what you know. It doesn't count for anything. Okay, then it gives you suggestions on things that you should study and ways or videos or links to help you study that. You can use those or not use those. That's up to you. They're tools to help you learn. Okay. What comes next is the important part, and that's the post-test. You have to take the post-test, and the post-test is what counts as a grade. So you take the pre-test, you do your studying, you take the post-test. The post-test score is the score that's recorded. So each module or chapter study plan is worth 25 points. Your post-test score ranges from 0 to 25, and you get your score based on how well you do. There are 13 of these that you need to complete. Okay, so that's a significant amount in the course. It's 325 possible course points out of 1,000. So I'd like to show you where those are on the MyLab system. So remember, you go to the MyLab tab on Blackboard, and then you enter in course home or the course assignment calendar. So here's that assignment calendar, and I can just go to any of the dates. Let's just say I go to this February 21st. Here is the Complete the Chapter 5 study plan. And so I would hit Begin. And it's going to pull up its own window. I'm not going to actually start to take it because then you would see, what the questions were and things like that. But I do want to show you what it looks like. So I take the pretest, I hit Begin right here, and it's going to pull it up. It's a timed activity, so I'm going to hit Cancel, but it's going to pull it up. After you've taken it, study material populates itself right in here. So it populates right here. The study material is up to you. You use it or you don't use it. Okay. But then the post-test here is what's important. Now you can't hit the post-test because you haven't taken the pre-test. So you do the pre-test, then this post-test becomes a link. You take that, and that's what counts for the course grade for this aspect. All right, so that takes us through number 4, the individualized study plans. The next on the list is number 5. This is called My Virtual Child. This is a lot of fun. It's really your bigger project for the semester. So what you're going to do is through that MyLab system, you're going to raise a virtual child. So this is neat because you get to make decisions about the child's development, and then you get to see what happens based on those decisions. So it gets you to apply the content from the course directly to a virtual or actual child on the computer. The My Virtual Child assignment is broken into 3 parts. So part 1 is a reflective essay that's due at the beginning of the semester. Part 2 is where you actually raise your child, and while you do that, you're asked a series of 10 questions that are graded. And then part 3 is a final reflective essay that's due at the end of the semester. The course calendar has all the due dates, and you can enter My Virtual Child first through Blackboard and then through the MyLab system. So I want to show you what it looks like. Let's start by going into just our regular Blackboard course, starting from the beginning. On the Content tab, there's a folder that has the My Virtual Child assignments. So this gives you an overview, and then it gives you part 1, which is the essay. It gives you part 2, which is when you raise the child and you answer the 10 questions. And then it gives you part 3, which is the conclusion essay. So everything is here, but you actually do the raising of the child through the MyDevelopmentLab system. So part 1 is the reflective essay before you get started. Here's all the questions, and then here are the requirements. So, you use Word, you do this heading at the top, you copy and paste the questions into your document, and you answer the questions. Follow all these directions. And to submit it, you actually click this link in Blackboard, and there's a grading rubric that you can use. You can hit View Rubric and see how I'm going to score you. And you would upload your document here at the Browse My Computer, okay, by the due date. You'll do the same thing for the third part, for part 3, which is a very similar assignment, just different essay questions because it's after you've raised the child. I want to walk you through the middle part, My Virtual Child Part 2. Okay, so this is when you actually raise the child and you answer the essay questions that appear as you go. So those questions, they appear and they're answered in the MyLab system itself. Okay. In case you want to know what they are before you get going, you can click this link and they're there. But that's not where you answer them. That's just a list of what the questions are to help you prepare. When you are submitting them in the MyLab system, take note that you can't go back to the question and edit it. So you have to answer it fully to your liking and then submit it before you navigate away from that page. So to help you, I would suggest writing them out in a Word document and then pasting it in when you're ready to go. 2 things that are important: support your answers with textbook information, and then cite your textbook for all of your text information. There are reminders for those inside the questions themselves. So let me take you to the My Virtual Child site. So you would enter MyDevelopmentLab, and you can just go to the lab course home. I like to start there no matter what. Once we're inside of that, you'll notice there's a My Virtual Child tab. So I hit the My Virtual Child tab, and it's going to give me a place to enter. When you enter in the first time, you're going to have a course code. I'll give you the course code in a class-wide email after Part 1 is done. So you can't start raising the child until Part 1 has already been scored. And this ID, this will be different for you depending on what semester and what section of the course you're in. So that will come through the email. But you'll enter that in, and then you will go to this piece and you'll hit Raise Child, and you can start to raise your child. So I've already accepted this and I've already started to create my child. I just wanted to bring you into the system to show you what it looked like. So I could start to answer the questions, to start to build what my child will be like. And this is all up to you. So you start to answer those questions so that you begin to raise your child. Okay, so I believe that walks you through everything that you need to know for the My Virtual Child project. This is a big part of the course. If you have questions, please reach out and reach out early so that I can help you be successful. Number 6 for course responsibilities are the technology-based assignments. I call them tech assignments. There's one interactive technology-based assignment that you complete per chapter of your main textbook. They are found on the course calendar in the MyDevelopmentLab. They have regular due dates, and they help you think a little bit more in depth about some of the content by watching a video or doing a simulation, and then having you complete a short quiz. There are 13 of those assignments that you have to complete. They're worth 10 points each. And so here's the deal on these. This is an easy way for you guys to get full points because you only have to get 50% on the quiz to get the full credit, okay? And you have 3 attempts. So there's really no reason why you won't get full points on these. I want these things to be fun and interesting and to help you learn the material. Let me show you where they are. So I'm going to close out of the My Virtual Child. We're in the home page of Blackboard, and I go to the MyDevelopmentLab tab, and I go ahead and click on the home page. I can find these the best way is through the assignment calendar. So I go into that, and then I pick the date that I'm working on, so maybe January 24th as an example. And it shows me here, simulate the process, cross-sectional, longitudinal, and sequential research design. So that's the tech assignment. And so I would click on that and allow my flash, and it would begin the either video or in this case it looks like a simulation. Okay, and it will record. You have the three chances. It will record your score. Remember, you just have to get at least a 50% and you get the 10 points. If you get below 50%, let's say you get a 49%, then you get 0 points. Take it all 3 times. Make sure that you are learning the information that's being presented to you. So that's the technology assignments. Number 7, the discussion board. So this is an online class. I still want you to be talking with one another and with me about the course content, and to do that, we will complete discussion board posts. There are 2 assignments or kind of threads or forums. There's an introduction forum, and then there are assignments based on the Nurture Shock book. So the introduction post, that's pretty standard. So it's the first discussion assignment. It's for you to post who you are in the introduction thread. It's worth 35 points, 20 points for your introduction, and 15 points for peer comments. Let me show you where that is. So we're in Blackboard, and we go to the discussion board. Here's the introduction post. So it gives you all of the questions that I want you to answer, and then it tells you, after you've introduced yourself, please comment on 3 of your peers' introductions and answer some of these questions. So I would enter it. Look, there's mine. You can read it, and you can reply if you want, or you could wait for other peers, but you would go ahead when you're in this and you would create a thread, and that way you could write your post. I'm going to cancel out of here for now and talk about the second discussion board activity, which are the Nurture Shock posts. So I'm inside the discussion board right now, and if you scroll down after the introduction thread, there are threads for the chapters that you'll read in the Nurture Shock book. So you can see they're all here. Let me explain to you a little bit more details about what these posts entail. So I'm going to go back to the syllabus. What we're going to do is, as we read the Nurture Shock book, we're going to talk with one another on the discussion board about how the information in the book correlates or corresponds to the information in our textbook. So I'll ask you a discussion question, you'll answer that question, and then you'll respond to a peer. And you'll do this for each of the Nurture Shock chapters that we read. There's due dates for all of these. There's 20 points that you can earn for your answer to the question, and 10 points that you can earn for your comment to the peer posts. And so that's 210 total points for your Nurture Shock posts. There is an assignment sheet that's helpful, and it's located on the Course Content tab in Blackboard. Let's take a look. So if I go to the Course Content tab, you'll see here's the Nurture Shock discussion board assignment directions. I'm going to open that up so you can see what it looks like. It walks you through some of the information I just shared with you, the steps that you need to follow to complete the assignment. So you answer the question, you make a comment on a peer's answer, and then it tells you what chapter you're reading and some of the related course topics, and then it gives you all of the questions. So for example, the chapter 2 question. A loss of 1 hour of sleep is equivalent to the loss of 2 years of cognitive maturation and development. What are the cognitive, memory, and physical effects of sleep loss on youngsters? What is the take-home message of this chapter? So you will answer that, and in your answer, it's a 150-word minimum. You'll use textbook information, and you'll cite the textbook with the page number. Here's just a little cheat sheet. This is what your citation will look like. And then after that, you'll comment on a peer's answer. Okay? You'll engage in discussion with them about what they mentioned and what they talked about. So to actually complete that, we'll go back into Blackboard. You go to the discussion board. You enter, let's just do the chapter 2. Here's the whole thing laid out for you. Gives you all the directions. You enter it, and then you create your thread. Okay. All of the due dates for the discussion board posts are on the course calendar. So if I pulled that up again just to show you, chapter 11, for example, Self and Social Understanding, it gives you the date, and it'll say read Nurture Shock chapter 3, and complete the Nurture Shock discussion board on Chapter 3. This is both parts. It's the answer and it's the peer response. So it's helpful if you get in there and you answer the question early. That way there are peer answers that are there for you and for each other to do the second piece to complete. So if nobody gets in there early enough, it becomes a little bit more difficult for all of you to complete your assignments. Okay, so don't wait till the last minute. All right, let's head back over to the syllabus. There is only one more course responsibility, and that's your final opportunity. This is a final exam. Okay, I call it an opportunity because it sounds a little nicer. It's your opportunity or chance to show me what you've learned in the course. It's not optional, it is mandatory. It's taken at the end of the semester. It's taken on the MyDevelopmentLab website. The due date's there. The link is on the assignment calendar. I'll show you where it is. You have 2 hours to complete the exam. You have only one chance to complete the exam, so you can only open it one time. And it covers all of the assigned Burke chapters from the semester. It is worth 100 points. Okay. Let me show you where that is now. So we go back into our course. I would go to MyDevelopmentLab. I would go into the lab, and the easiest place to find things, you know, is the assignment calendar. It's going to be towards the end of the semester. So once this pulls up, I'll head towards the end, February, March, April, and then May. And I'll go to the 7th, and you'll see your final opportunity or exam there. So you can click the link and you can get started. All right, those are all the course responsibilities. Those are the ways that you can learn the material and to show me that you have mastered the learning objectives. So let's talk a little bit about the way that your grade is calculated. You have the study plans, the tech assignments, the discussion board, you have the virtual child assignments, and your final opportunity. So in this class, there's 1,000 possible points. Your grade is then just determined based on how many points you earn out of the 1,000. So let's say you earned 700, you have a C minus. If you earn somewhere between 800 and 833, then you have a B minus. Okay, so you can figure out which grade you would end up with based on the points that you earned. There are some policies I want to cover with you. So you can submit work late. It's allowed up to 24 hours, but there's a penalty of 10 points. So this means that for some of the assignments, like the tech assignment, which is only worth 10 points, if you miss it, you miss it. But there are other things where this is helpful. So, for example, the discussion board posts. Those are worth, if we come back up here to take a look, those are worth 30 points per chapter. So let's say you're a day late. Okay, that's 10 points off. But if you do very well on it, you can get 20 points out of the 30. After that 24-hour period, that 24-hour grace period, you can't submit work for any credit. Please email me if you guys have questions about the late work policy or about any of the things I've talked about so far. I know this is a long video, but I think it's very, very helpful for you to be successful in the course. And you have to let me know if and when you have a question so that I can help you out. We are going to breeze through the rest of this. So there is some other important course information that I want you to read through on your own. So again, I remind you to email me. I suggest that you decide early in the semester when to do your work and you stick with that schedule. The primary form of communication is my email address. I will reply to you as quickly as I can, but please do provide at least 24 to 48 hours. I'm usually way quicker than that, guys, but if it's a weekend or a holiday or I'm away at a conference, it can get a little bit longer. So keep in mind, in online courses, it's not always immediate feedback. The human relations and ADA compliance, as well as the academic honesty statements, are also here, and they're important for you to read. If you have a Access Center disability accommodation, please email me right away so that I can help you succeed in this course. I am committed to working with all students, regardless of any disability, regardless of age, gender identity, race, cultural, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, any of these things. So many of them don't apply to what we're doing, but I want you to know that I am committed, and I will adhere to these statements and these codes, and I expect that you also will. All right, that takes care of everything in our course. So what are the next steps for you? Let's just take a look at our course calendar. The due dates might be different based on what semester you're taking this or what section. But go ahead and start to complete the Welcome to the Class, Chapter 1, and history assignments. If you have questions, let me know, and I really do look forward to working with you this semester.